Live from Wayne Prophet Court, you're watching Division III Women's College Basketball on LHSN as the University of Lynchburg Hornets come in at 5-2, 2-1 in conference play and play host to the Roanoke Maroons. It's a rematch of last year's ODAC Conference Championship game. Roanoke undefeated, looking to stay so after they leave Lynchburg, Virginia. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, spending some time with us on your Saturday afternoon. TJ Wingert is here to take you through all the action. It's going to be an exciting battle between these two teams and a lot of talent on the hardwood today. Let's talk about some players to watch, starting with the visiting Roanoke Maroons. Christina Harrell just recently clips 1,000 career points after dropping a game-high 22 most recent outing against Shenandoah. That was also a season-high 22 points against Shenandoah University. And on the other side, Erin Green coming off her second double-double of the year in a low-scoring affair. The most recent win for Lynchburg over Randolph, 18 points, 13 rebounds. Also Erin Green setting a new Lynchburg block record for a career. We'll talk about that as the broadcast continues. Clara Flaherty, 8th season as a head coach for Roanoke. Done a fantastic job, 4 consecutive winning seasons, has a postseason tournament win in each of the last 3 years. And on the other side, it's Allison Nichols, former associate head coach at Roanoke, spanning from 2017 to 2021. These two teams share a whole lot of play styles because of the familiarity between Coach Nichols and Coach Flaherty. So, a lot to look forward to in this matchup between Lynchburg and Roanoke. Hornets all-time 17-30 against Roanoke. They are 11-9 at home. Counter that to 5-18 on the road at Roanoke. In the recent trends, Lynchburg took both games last year. Prior to that, Roanoke had won 2 in a row, but before that, 11 consecutive wins for Lynchburg, dating from February of 2014 to January of 2019. So recent history would suggest this is a one-sided affair, but past 4 meetings have been split 2-2. Someone's going to come out and take a lead today in the rubber match, if you will. Here are the starting lineups for both sides. In addition to the players to watch, Sammy Sever, currently top 3 in the ODAC in points per game, and Lizzie Davis, first in the conference in assists per contest for Roanoke. Sayre Brandstatter, 2.9 steals per contest to go along with 4 points per game. Someone to keep your eye on there, as well as Whitney Hobson, 7.1 points per game, and Morgan McCullough just under 10 points a contest. First possession goes to the Maroons, and immediately it's in the hands of Christina Harrell. Talk about the scoring numbers for Harrell. 14.4 points per game. Also first in the ODAC, 65.5% field goal percentage, but it's Lynchburg with an early stop. Davis finds Sever, spin move, throws it up towards the iron. Whistle in the play. Coach Flaherty trying to lobby that it should be called a travel. Instead, it's a shooting foul, sending Sever to the free throw line. Opportunity to break the ice from the stripe. It was just 2 points on Wednesday night for Sammy Sever, season low. But all told, been a fantastic sophomore season for the Cary, North Carolina native. We'll see our first sub as Morgan McCullough's going to check out, and Lauren Keel, sophomore from Connecticut, comes on in her place. Stat line for Sever, 18.1 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 1.6 assists per game. Misses on the first free throw. Enters today shooting 75% from the charity stripe. There you see Lizzie Davis, the other guard in the starting lineup today, and Sever and Davis have been a dynamic duo, to put it lightly. And then Erin Green rounding out that big 3 for the Hornets. Those 3 are playing well. Good things come to fruition for Lynchburg. Zone defense for the Hornets. Harrell ultimately does take the screen from Keel, drives in with the left. A little too strong off the iron. Lynchburg out in transition. Sever misses the bunny with the left-handed layup. We talked about the play styles between these two teams mirroring one another, and obviously that branches from Coach Nichols and Coach Flaherty working with one another. Their time with Roanoke. First field goal today is sunk by Lauren Keel for Roanoke. Maroons ahead by 1. But you'll see both sides try to work it quickly in transition, create turnovers, and then try to span the length of a floor off of a miss or those turnovers in 1 to 2 passes. Sarah Johnson underneath the basket. Not going to count as a basket. Foul called before the shot attempt, so it's going to be an inbound from the baseline. But Sarah Johnson started every game this year. The starting 5 for Lynchburg: the exact same as it's been all season long. Johnson, their junior from Mechanicsville, Virginia, played 24 minutes or more in every game but one this season. Inbound goes right to Green. Lynchburg loves this play. Another missed layup. Whistle on the play. We'll give Roanoke possession. And speaking of whistle, let's talk about today's officiating crew. Lynn Cron, I beg your pardon, Stephanie Howard, and Shannon Multi. Our officiating crew for today's matchup. Nice penetration. Hobson nearly lost it. Gets it back out to Keel. Mid-range J won't fall this time round for the sophomore. Sever again in transition. It's going to be called for double dribble or the carry. Take your variety. Could have been either or. Couple early turnovers for Lynchburg. That has been one area of a weakness of sorts. 20.7 turnovers per game. That's 7th in the ODAC. So middle of the pack, but still a number that Hornets and Coach Nichols would like to see come down a little bit. Roanoke on their side, 17.3 turnovers per game. Good rebound for Sarah Johnson. Finds Lizzie Davis, 2-on-1. Bounce pass to Sever. Ooh, and she is cleaned up from behind and called for the travel. Sever can't believe it. Felt like it would have been called some sort of foul, whether shooting or just on the floor against Christina Harrell, but instead they're going to say that there's a travel to go against Sever. Third turnover already for Lynchburg. Maroons stretching out the 2-3 zone defense. 4 players on the perimeter. Mid-range jumper, first time calling the name of Renee Alquiza, senior from Cornelius, North Carolina. Been a sharpshooter so far this year, 44.8% shooting from downtown. Johnson, nice shot fake, gets her defender in the air. That'll halt the play before Johnson can get the easy 2. Sever's going to check out with Olivia Harris checking on for Lynchburg, also a sub for Roanoke. Rose Sandy, player into the game for the Maroons, and Sandy immediately picks off the inbound pass. Near side wing, Hobson gets both defenders in the air. Shot won't go. The rebound for Johnson. Davis, nice bounce pass. Harris was running to an open spot, but wasn't looking for the pass. Another empty possession for the Hornets. And we might be in for more of what we saw on Wednesday night. 45-31 win for Lynchburg over crosstown rival Randolph. 21 consecutive wins against the Wildcats for Lynchburg now. But in that game, Lynchburg shot under 27% from the floor, and Randolph shot around 15%, 8 of 53 shooting from the floor. Randolph had more than double the amount of turnovers that made field goals. So an impressive defensive showing. That was what Coach Nichols echoed when talking to me before today's game. Happy with how our defense played on Wednesday against Randolph, and gave a lot of credit to the Wildcats and their defensive efforts, slowing down Lynchburg specifically in transition as Davis gets the first made field goal today for Lynchburg. Hornets move ahead 3-2. Hobson was working quickly, then hits the brakes. Sandy for 3. Rattles out. Putback opportunity, a rare miss for Harrell. Again, shooting over 65.5% from the floor. Coming in today, first in the ODAC. Should have been an easy 2 after the offensive rebound. Possession does stay with the Maroons, and Meredith Vedder as well as Kate Kolb check on for Lizzie Davis and Sarah Johnson. Also a sub for Roanoke, Jabria Haverkamp, junior from Ashland, Virginia. Almost averaging 10 points a contest. Just checked in. Inbound goes to Alquiza. Started all but 4 games in her career, and that came as a freshman. Open for 3. Knocks it down. Alquiza already talked about that 3-point shooting percentage. Now right at 45%. She's had 3 consecutive games scoring 11 or more in each of those 3. Foul called on Meredith Vetter, conceding possession back to Roanoke. Lynchburg's had a hard time maintaining possessions, and to echo that, Roanoke now 3 of 11 shooting from the floor. Lynchburg's 1 of 3. See that big of a discrepancy early on in the amount of field goals attempted? That is not a good sign if you're a Lynchburg fan. 4-point Maroons lead. Brooke Vetter swings it over to her twin, Meredith. One dribble, back to Aaron Green for 3. Missing strong, rebound for Harrell. No numbers advantage for Roanoke. Mid-range jumper, misses it all from McAuliffe. And you're seeing the high tempo that both sides want to play with. Even when shots aren't going down. They want to move it up all 94 feet of the hardwood. It's going to be a travel called on Aaron Green. She's not happy with the call. But the turnover is going to bring us to our under 5-minute media timeout. Early 7-3 Roanoke lead over Lynchburg. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more to watch between the Hornets and the Maroons on LHSN. Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia. 4 minutes, 25 seconds left in the opening quarter of play. Offense has been tough to come by for both sides, and maybe an opportunity for both coaches to settle their teams down. There's a lot riding on this game in the sense of it's a rematch of last year's ODAC championship game. There's a lot of emotion baked into that naturally, but also battle between 2 of the top 5 teams inside the conference. Lynchburg tied for 5th in the ODAC at 2-1, and while Roanoke tied for 2nd at 3-0, tied with Washington Lee just tied with Washington Lee and trailed only Randolph-Macon, who is 4-0 in conference play. Fourth foul to go against Roanoke. Lynchburg will foul away from engineering opportunities at the line in the bonus. Certainly could pay dividends, considering they're 1 of 4 shooting from the floor. This is Olivia Harris knocking down the first free throw attempt, giving her first point on the day. 18-plus minutes of action in every game played this year. She goes 2 for 2, and now doubles her free throw total to 4 for 4 on the season. Alkiza drives baseline. Make that Haverkamp drives baseline. 3-point shot won't go for Harrell regardless, as Taylor Gant able to get away from McAuliffe and bring it across half court. Nice dribble moves on display for the sophomore. One possession game. Meredith Vetter, she's played more minutes in every game so far this season since coming back from her hip injury. Kate Cole ties it up, 7 apiece. Long 3, Whitney Hobson, no good. Rebound for Meredith Vetter. Talking about Meredith Vetter's injury, and since she's come back, this becomes her 4th game played. Played just 2 minutes against Ferrum, and her first game back, then 10 minutes at Randolph-Macon, then 12 this past Wednesday against Randolph. So slowly but surely, you're starting to see that role grow upon itself. Hobson swings it over to Harrell. Three-point attempt. Nothing but nylon for Renee Alquiza. Her second trifecta to go. She's got both made threes in this game. She has set the pace for the contest overall with 8 points so far. Easy find. Vetter feeds Cole back-to-back buckets. The post player for Lynchburg. 1 point game. Different look for the Hornets defense, applying pseudo full court pressure. Hobson gives to McAuliffe, working against Kolb. Shot won't go. Rebound for Vetter. Not called for a travel after hitting the floor. Good job for Vetter. Able to stay perfectly still. I mean, that's a call that most referees are pretty quick to make. Vetter able to avoid the turnover. Harris is looking for help. Vetter for Kolb. Couldn't make it 6 straight. On the break, how about that from Christina Harrell? Outpaces the rest of the floor and has her first field goal of the day. So if you're a Lynchburg fan, you're looking at 8.5 minutes of basketball before Harrell knocks down her first field goal. That's a good step in the right direction despite trailing by 3. Step back. Harris knocks it down. We're tied up, 12 all. Harris comes in the day shooting 35% from beyond the arc, but a couple of games with 3 threes made. And a turnover to go against Roanoke, the guilty party being Haverkamp. Chance with 60 seconds left to play in the first quarter for Lynchburg to take the lead. And to that point, it'd be the first lead for Lynchburg since they were up 1-0. Keel trying to close off and seal away Kolb, able to do just that. Harris picks her pocket, gets it to Kolb. Loses it for a moment from Sayer Brandsatter. Cleanup duty for Sammy Sever. Lynchburg does have their first lead since it was a 1-0 ball game. Second, maybe a second-and-a-half difference between shot and game clock. Brandstatter back to Hobson, who's played every minute of the first quarter. Keel drives in with the left hand. Nice finish underneath the iron. 8 seconds and counting in the first quarter. Gant gets the offense into motion. Soft kiss off the glass and in, and beats the first quarter buzzer. 16-14 your score through 10 minutes of action, and so far it has not disappointed. Hornets lead after the first. We'll step aside and come back with the second quarter play between these two sides, coming to you on LHSN.
If I'm walking around over on the crowd side, I always hear someone yelling, "Hey Nat, take our picture. Hey Nat, get this," or something, or "Hey Nat, you got that shot?" Like, so I'm always like trying to photograph the crowds and my friends calling my name. I think sports at Lynchburg unifies us as a whole. No matter what background we come from, what differences we have, and what experience we've experienced through our lives, it brings us all together and we have one goal, which is to win. As a photographer, I definitely get to capture the emotion and the feel and the atmosphere of what's going on during the games and what's happening in the crowd and with the fans. We have hugely dedicated fans here at Lynchburg. They come out whether it's rain, snow, sleet, windy, no matter what, like they will come out and support their team and cheer them on. They will sit through anything. It's just, it brings us all together as one.
Set and ready for the second quarter between the Hornets and the Maroons. Taylor Gant nearly loses it as Lynchburg starts the second quarter with possession. Kolb able to get it away to Johnson. Heavily contested. Offensive rebound and put back 2 for Kay Kolb, who's certainly made a big impact coming off the bench in today's contest. She's got a Lynchburg best 6 points. Just ahead of Olivia Harris with 5. Now Johnson closes out, 3-point shot won't go for Haverkamp. After that media timeout with 4:25 left in the first quarter, both offenses started to hit their stride, but Lynchburg certainly woke up from that point onward. Carrying the momentum into the second quarter. Harris with a nice find from Johnson to Gant for 3. No good. It's been a tough year shooting the basketball from beyond the arc for Taylor Gant. Now 0 for 10. And even just shooting from the floor, she hasn't had a made field goal, excluding the one at the end of the first quarter, since November 16th. So further emphasis on how big of a layup that was just before the first quarter buzzer sounded. Not only to give Lynchburg the lead, but first bucket in nearly a month for Taylor Gant. Foul on the floor. It'll go against Roanoke. Lynchburg will take over. 8:45 left in the first quarter, or first half, I beg your pardon. Subs check on for Roanoke, including Peyton Kirchner, first time seen her on the hardwood, as well as Christina Harrell back on the floor. Same could be said about Morgan McAuliffe. Another set with 2 screeners at the key. Harris penetrates. Gantz tries another 3-ball. Off the front of the iron. Offensive rebound for Olivia Harris. Deep trifecta. Sever, no good. Sever came in the day 9th in the conference in 3-point shooting percentage, just under 38%. That shot was her first from beyond the arc. Won't see it fall. Offensive rebounds has been an area of strength so far for Lynchburg, especially after that media timeout. Now they're up to 4 so far on the day. And it's led to 4 second chance points to go with it. Roanoke, same stats, 3 offensive rebounds, 3 second chance points. So slight advantage, but if that continues to play out throughout the rest of this contest, that little by little difference could certainly make a big difference by game's end. Harris tips the pass out of play. Harrell will inbound from the near sideline. And talking more about Christina Harrell, not only did she eclipse 1,000 career points against Shenandoah last time out, get this, she's a senior, started every game she's played in her collegiate career, including her freshman season. 2 passes ahead, Sever, heavily contested layup, another offensive rebound for Olivia Harris. Lynchburg will play it a little bit more patiently. Their second opportunity. Shot clock's at 10. Gant over the top for Green. Left-handed layup won't go. Another offensive rebound for Sarah Johnson, and she earns a trip to the free throw line after being fouled on the play. Again, offensive rebounding, a strength all season long for Lynchburg. Continues to be the case today. 5th in the ODAC, 14.6 offensive boards per contest. That number got skewed a little bit against Randolph, as that entire game in general brought down a lot of offensive numbers, to say the least, for not only Lynchburg but also Randolph. Johnson leaves the first attempt short. Junior shooting 64.3% from the free throw line this season. Goes 0 for 2 this time. Harrell in the corner. To this point, 1 for 4 shooting from the floor. McAuliffe looking for space. Alkiza one more time. Sandy. 3-ball off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound for Harrell. Now Roanoke gets the opportunity to tack on their second chance points. Nice offensive look from Renee Alkiza. Nice shot fake, the hop step right behind it. Just a nice sequence in general for the senior. She's got 2 more, and first player into double figures at 10. Most importantly, ties the game up 18-all. Lynchburg trying to feed it into Green. Draws the foul against Alkiza. So Aaron Green to the free throw line. First appearance at the stripe today. Senior 0 for 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 for beyond the arc. Gets her first point on the afternoon, coming off 18 points, 13 rebounds. The 18 against Roanoke on Wednesday, a season high. And dating back even further in the archives for Aaron Green. How about this? 4 blocks in the championship game last year against Roanoke. Might come in handy down the stretch. She's got a block in every single game played so far this year. And, of course, we talked about at the top of the broadcast, up to 163 in her career, a new Lynchburg program record. She surpassed Caroline Wesley, class of 2007, to hold that mark. Roanoke enters today as the #1 scoring offense in the ODAC, just under 74 points per game. Another offensive rebound. McCullough drives to the free throw line, gets it out. Alkeza knocks down her third 3-ball. Renee Alkeza is scorching hot, to put it lightly. 13 points now, 9 coming from beyond the arc. Roanoke back in front by 1. Aaron Green tries to respond. Shot is strong. Rebound for Keel. Three-point attempt is butter for Sayer Bransatter. Roanoke picking up the offensive tempo and ahead by 4. Lizzie Davis trying to retaliate and able to draw the foul. The mid-range jump shot. So Davis will now slow this game's pace down exponentially and head to the free throw line. It also allows Aaron Green to catch a breath and bring Kate Kolb on in her place. Bransatter, you just saw on your screen, knocking down that three-point shot. Started all 7 games this year and played 30 or more minutes than 3 in a row. Big part of the rotation for Coach Flaherty. Davis cuts the deficit in half. It's 24-22, just over 5 minutes to go in the first half. McAuliffe bodies Kolb. Not often we've seen that this season. First 2 points for Morgan McAuliffe. Harris takes the screen left, thought about the three-point shot. Instead, gets it to Vetter. There's a lane violation called going against Sarah Johnson. 8th turnover to go against Lynchburg, and as Roanoke is heating up, you can hear it from their bench. We've reached the media timeout for the second quarter, so we'll step aside. 26-22, Roanoke out in front of Lynchburg on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Four minutes, 53 seconds left until we break. Currently a 4-point Maroons lead. A heavyweight Saturday afternoon battle between two of the top teams the ODAC has to offer. Alkeza drives in, gets it away to Keel, back out to Harrell. Nice passing sequence for Roanoke. Free throw jumper won't go for McCullough. She had Alkiza wide open in the far side corner. Something to remember. Might have another opportunity that looks just like how that play shaped out. And if it does, keep an eye on McCullough, maybe taking the extra pass next time around. Still was an open look. No coach will ever be upset with an open shot attempt. And McCullough makes it a thing of the past. Drives in, now up to 4 in the afternoon. Harris wide open in transition. Can't get it to fall. McCullough penetrates. Brandsatter wide open. Three-point shot. Tipped up by Johnson. Alkiza stays with it. Off the glass and in. It's now an 8-point Roanoke lead. And a timeout on the floor called by Coach Allison Nichols. Let's talk about the resumes for these two coaches, starting with Coach Nichols calling the timeout. We talked about in the open. She was just hired by Lynchburg after spending 4 seasons as the associate head coach over at Roanoke. Also has been a head coach in the ODAC. That was with Randolph, 2010 to 2016. Played at Bridgewater, was a guard with the Eagles, and has this Lynchburg team as the preseason pick to finish 5th in the ODAC preseason poll with 1 first-place vote in the mix. Meanwhile, on the other side, 8th-year head coach Claire Flaherty, winning season in each of the last 4, a record of 52-22, and in conference play, 28-17. Very impressive resume for Coach Flaherty. Has at least 1 postseason tournament win in each of the last 3 years. Prior to Roanoke, was the head coach at LaSalle College in Massachusetts. Guided that program to their first ever conference postseason appearance. Also spent 6 years at her alma mater, Bates College, as an assistant coach. Also served as a women's soccer assistant coach at Bates College from 2005, 2007, was the interim in 2008. So very interesting resume for Coach Flaherty, but she has seen it all, to say the least, and she's got this Roanoke team building upon constant success, setting a new bar, higher and higher each and every year, and they reached the ODAC title game last year. Got to think the goal this year is to come away with the ship. Lynchburg looking to say otherwise. Out of the timeout. Hornets need a bucket to break what's been a very tough stretch. Sarah Johnson called on to try to get that basket. Foul on the floor. It's going to go against Lynchburg. Maroons to take over. With about 7 minutes to go until the end of the second quarter, was 18-18. That point on, 12-4 Roanoke run. This is really where the Maroons have separated themselves. Chance to stretch the lead up to double figures. McCullough's had a big hand in this run. Works against Johnson. That's a tough shot. Nearly an offensive rebound for Laura Keel, instead tipped out of play. Rose Sandy just checked back in for Roanoke. Tipped out of play by the Maroons. Going to stay with Lynchburg. 3:05 left in the first half. We've seen that play from underneath the basket, but never quite from the sideline. Or really no words to explain how perfect of a pass that was to Aaron Green. Goes up top, almost like a football player, put in a spot where only Green can go up and get it at its highest point. And now a travel called against Alkiza. Well, an unorthodox sideline play drawn up by Coach Nichols is certainly a way to get some more energy back from your bench. And now a chance to cut the deficit down from 6. 3-point shot, you can make it a 1-possession contest. Davis finds Johnson, open from the elbow, takes a dribble. Contested shot, no good. Roanoke's defense has been smothering. Sandy and Sever both get their hands on the basketball. It's going to be called a jump ball. Timeout called by Coach Flaherty, so it's going to be Roanoke possession coming out of the break. You want to talk about consistency with this Roanoke team. Here's another look at that unbelievable inbound pass. Lizzie Davis could not, again, put that basketball in a better spot. It is very reminiscent of football. Quarterback just trusting the receiver, go up and get it at its highest point, and that was Davis to Green, the senior connection. But continue my point, Roanoke, get this. In 5 of their 7 games this year, they've shot 38% or better from three-point land. And in every game they played this year, they've shot at least 40% from the floor. This offense doesn't have off nights. That's why early on when Harrell was struggling, it was a big opportunity for Lynchburg to try to stretch out a big lead. And right now, the Maroons shooting 38.2% from the floor. This could become the first contest where they shoot below that 40% threshold. Sandy finds McCullough, kicks it out to Harrell. Sandy drives in, slips through 2 defenders. Can't finish on the runner. Rebound for Sarah Johnson. Out on the break, it's Meredith Vetter. Picked up her dribble, looking for help. Tipped away by McCullough, gathered by Davis. To the rim with the left hand. Nice late contest from Alkiza. Forces another miss. Harrell drives in. Can't get the basket. That time it was Sammy Sever, the late contest. Green at the free throw line. 90 seconds to go in the first half. Sever drives in. Give her the basket. And the foul, all for naught. It's actually called a travel. 9th turnover to go against Lynchburg. And what a dichotomy that play takes. Potential for a 3-point play, making a 1-possession contest. Instead, a turnover, and it takes the air out of the building. And keeps it at a 6-point Roanoke lead. Alkiza off the feed from Keel. Now 15 points to lead the way for Alkiza. From Green, looking for Johnson. Tapped out to Meredith Vetter, who drives in. Foul on the play. Vetter will head to the free throw line. Opportunity for Meredith Vetter to get her first 2 points on the day. Taylor Gant checks in for Lizzie Davis. Olivia Harris in for Sammy Sever. First attempt is through for Vetter. Now 2 for 3 from the line this season. You see the new backcourt for Lynchburg as Vetter makes it 2 for 2 trip. Brings it back to a 6-point game. Some frustration from the Roanoke side, maybe lobbying for players stepping into the lane. I didn't see it from up top. What was seen was a travel going against Morgan McCullough. Just the 5th turnover for Roanoke. You see Coach Flaherty frustrated with the last couple of possessions on either end of the court. Harris back to Gant. Gets it to Vetter. Foul goes against Rose Sandy. It's on the floor. But it's the 5th to go against Roanoke, so Lynchburg has worked themselves into the bonus, and Taylor Gant stands at the line. Gant had that big layup bring a close to the first quarter. Here's the foul once again. Incidental contact, but Sandy certainly a little overzealous, trying to poke away the pass, and Gant goes 0 for 2. Serves as a turnover of sorts, but Sarah Johnson there to keep the possession alive for Lynchburg. Big break for the Hornets. Roanoke continues to try to shield away Aaron Green. Another tipped pass, and Gant pokes it away. Tries to contest that it was off of Sandy instead. Our officials say it was last touch by Gant. 18.2 to go in the first half. Chance for Roanoke to hold for the last possession. Sandy picks up her dribble early. Alkiza looking for help. Back to McCullough. Mid-range jumper. Nothing but the bottom of the net. And that will bring a close the first half of play between Roanoke and Lynchburg. Maroons looking to stay perfect, up by 8 as we've reached the half against Lynchburg in the rematch of the ODAC championship game from last year. We're going to take a quick pause, come back with some stats from the first 20 minutes of play. So don't go anywhere. Plenty more to watch between Lynchburg and Roanoke on LHSN.
My name is Joshua Carr. I am a senior. I am a theater major as well as a history minor. I live in 5th Street, the historic black neighborhood. The money came in, transfer, scholarship, all that. I appreciate that greatly. I'm smart too. So they gave it like, you smart, here, here, here. You know what I'm saying? You come here to do a job. I came here to do a job. A student's job is to get that degree and make something of ourselves. I love the diversity here. I love the different interests of people here. I can teach somebody that doesn't know what I know, and that person can teach me something that I don't know that they know. That's what I love about my school. They respect that and they allow us to showcase and voice our expressions. That's what you get here. You get diversity, you get different people with different knowledge coming together, sharing information and helping each other out. That's what I love. That's why I say people. I love the people here.
Be ready for anything, okay?
Come on, let's go together! Together, let's go! Come on! Let's go, keep going!
There is the desk to it.
Straight?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool!
Good one. All right, guys, you see the meat grinder down here?
Stay in the boat, let's go! You on camera? Oh, what you think of that? Woo!
Get small classes, nationally recognized mentoring and advising, and a community that has your back every step of the way at the University of Lynchburg.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It doesn't matter how long ago you had your professor, they still remember you and they remember all of the hard work that you put in. They're always there for you and they always want to do the best that they can to help you succeed. Here you learn how to love one another regardless of what's going on or what you believe. You leave here better than what you came in. It's what this school's really good at doing.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
Welcome back to Wayne Profit Court. It's halftime between Lynchburg and Roanoke. Maroons lead the Hornets 34-26 at the break here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. TJ Winger taking you through all the action. Let's go ahead and show you some of the stats from the first 20 minutes of play between these two teams. And offense was a little slow to start for both sides, but it started to pick up as the game went on. One of the big differences is the three-point shooting mark, 4 of 10 for Roanoke, juxtaposed to 1 of 8 for Lynchburg. And Lynchburg has had a tough time shooting the basketball from beyond the arc, including the last 2 games and the first half of today. Lynchburg, 6 of 34 from beyond the arc. That's 17.6% from three-point land in the last 10 quarters of basketball, essentially. It's been a tough time coming, looking to break through in that stretch. Lynchburg does hold the rebounding advantage, but when it comes to offensive rebounds, 7-6 advantage for Roanoke, and more importantly, second chance points. Maroons lead the Hornets 12-4 in that category. And then turnovers, of course, another big one to talk about. 10 for Lynchburg, just 5 for Roanoke. That's led to 8 points for the Maroons, just 4 for Lynchburg. So not a huge discrepancy there, but empty possessions have been a commonality all game long for Lynchburg, and to hammer that home, 8 of 25 shooting the basketball. Keep that 25 field goal attempts in your mind. Roanoke, 15 of 38. 13 more shots from the floor, and even if you're not shooting a great percentage, 39.5% okay. You can win basketball games at that clip, but when you have 18 more shots at that efficiency, well, naturally you're going to grow out and be able to stretch out an 8-point lead or maybe even more. So still in single digits, and that's a good side for things to come for Lynchburg. We'll talk about some of the individual stats when we come back after this break. We'll also show you some highlights from the first half of play between Lynchburg and Roanoke. So don't go anywhere. Plenty more to watch between the Hornets and the Maroons on LHSN.
To have a cadaver lab is a bit rare nowadays, just because other programs are going to more convenient forms of that kind of learning. So to be able to get your hands on actual bodies, to get your hands on actual structures that you know exist underneath the skin, but you don't quite have the concept of how they all work. Now in that class you can get the concept of how they work. And then being able to apply that directly to the clinical sites. So you'll go straight from class right into your clinical sites, and you'll be able to use everything that you've learned that day to be able to work with the kids directly with the athletes is the most rewarding part, is the most rewarding experience of it.
We're getting closer to the second half of play between Lynchburg and Roanoke, coming to you on LHSN. Now we're going to show you some of the highlights from the first half, and I'm going to take the opportunity to not only talk about some of the individual metrics, but also talk about some of the scores from around the ODAC conference. And when it comes to individuals, the conversation has got to start with Renee Alquiza. Game high 17 points. She is accounted for half of the team scoring for Roanoke, and she's done it on 7 of 8 shooting from the floor, 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. To say she's been shooting the basketball flawlessly, all but one miss. Obviously is an understatement. She's been fantastic so far today. Next highest score is 6 from Morgan McAuliffe, all that coming in the second quarter. And on the other side, it's been a very different way of scoring for Lynchburg. Every player but 2 has scored at least 2 points. Leading the way is Kate Kolb with 6. Then she's followed by Olivia Harris with 5, and then a couple of players with 4. That's Erin Green, Lizzie Davis. And maybe in the second half you start to see some more production from players like Sammy Sever, 1 for 3 from the floor, 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. She has 3 points. And maybe even more from Erin Green, 1 of 5 shooting from the field goal, or from the floor, I should say, and Sarah Johnson, 0 for 4 on field goal attempts. So those two, feels like there might be some more production down inside for Lynchburg. And it should be noted, the Hornets 7 of 17 on non-3-point shot. That's 41%. So that is a little bit better than their current field goal percentage overall. And it should be noted, 2 of 12 shooting in the second quarter compared to 6 of 13 in the first quarter. So really, you look at that second set of 10 minutes, that's the big difference in this contest so far. When it comes to scores around the ODAC, you're watching Lynchburg and Roanoke. You know it's an 8-point contest. Just underway in the third quarter of action, Randolph-Macon trails Salisbury 42-27. And the only other game in the ODAC today, Guilford hosting the Apprentice School. Quakers out in front 41-23, getting ready for the second half. We're going to take one final pause, come back, talk adjustments, and get ready for the second half of play between the Hornets and the Maroons. So don't go anywhere. Stick with us on LHSN.
I would definitely say to reach out. Me personally, I know several of my classmates would be more than happy to talk, to get a text, get a phone call, get an email, whatever it may be, and just answer any questions that you have. The faculty here, they're great, but of course coming in, sometimes it's better to hear it from a student than from a future professor. So reach out, nobody is afraid or unwilling to help. I would have loved to have someone to reach out to, and now that we're here, we are those people that they can reach out to. So feel free, ask questions. We're here to help you go through what we've just been through.
Welcome back to Turner Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. Hornets trail Roanoke by 8 points, 34-26 your score through 2 quarters. Got a whole second half to play. Lynchburg hoping to overcome the deficit and make it wins a consecutive contest here at home. Looking to stay perfect at home. With a win, they would improve to 5-0. Meanwhile, Roanoke looking to stay perfect, period, end of sentence. With a win, they improved to 8-0 and 4-0 in conference play, and they would be able to tie Randolph-Macon for top spot in the ODAC standings. Roanoke with possession to start the third quarter. Now Keys has been red hot, only 1 miss so far today, game high 17 points. McAuliffe, all 6 of her points come in the second quarter. She's now got 8 and starts the scoring in the second half. Pushes the lead up to 10 for Roanoke. During halftime, Lynchburg shooting 41% from non-3-point shots on the game, shooting 32%. And there's another example of it. And that's actually first made shot of the day for Sarah Johnson. First 2 points to go with it. And there might be some more offense to try to scrap together for Lynchburg inside the arc. That said, the Maroons have done a fantastic job taking away passes to Aaron Green. You've seen second defenders come in. You've seen them try to take away that pass by shielding the defender, making you go over top, and by putting more airtime on it, becomes more susceptible to be taken away by that help side defender. So we'll see if Lynchburg's able to have their bigs line up in more favorable spots, play in the post. If not, it's going to take some 3-point shots to go. 1 of 8 from beyond the arc in the first half. That number's got to improve. Meanwhile, for Roanoke, adjustments. I'd play like you did in the second quarter. Took that second set of 10 minutes, 20-10. Roanoke by far the better team in the second quarter, and defense looked really good. Held Lynchburg to 2 of 12 shooting, and it looks good here. McCullough picks off the pass with the right hand, puts the lead back up into double figures. She's now the second player in the contest to hit double figures herself. She's got 10. So for Roanoke, you're looking for more of the same. For Lynchburg, engineering offense. You'd love to create some turnovers too. That'll help go a long way. Davis goes up, draws the foul against Harrell. And Lizzie Davis will head back to the free throw line. That was one area of a big advantage for Lynchburg. 9 of 14. They got to the free throw line 14 times in the first half. Shot 64.3%. A so-so percentage. You'd like to see that number get a little bit better. But Roanoke didn't have a single free throw attempt, and they still don't to this point in the contest, almost 2 minutes into the third. So Lynchburg, that might be another pathway where they can work themselves into the contest. Maybe put Roanoke in a spot where they commit 5 team fouls early on in the third and fourth quarter. You get to the bonus, stop the clock, get 2 free throws with every foul. That's one possible alternative if you're still having a tough time making shots from the floor. 1 for 2 for Davis. 9-point contest. Davis falls in the play, gets back up on her feet. Hobson cutting in from outside the restricted circle. The floater no good. Rebound for Aaron Green. Just her first on the day. Didn't envision saying that today. Davis drives in, trying to take over. She's got 3 consecutive points for Lynchburg. And overall up to 7 on the afternoon. Davis had scored in double figures in 5 in a row before Wednesday night. Had 7 against the Wildcats. Lynchburg creates the turnover. Roanoke creates one in response. Still a 2-3 zone for Lynchburg. Alkiza for 3. Just her second miss today. First from beyond the arc. Nice recovery defense for Sarah Johnson. Made the look a lot harder than initially appeared it would be for McCullough. Harris tripped up. Foul on the floor goes against Roanoke. And that's one of those 50-50 calls. Could be a travel, could be a foul against the Maroons. It's called against Roanoke, their second team foul. Just under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. So Lizzie Davis, will inbound from underneath the basket. Just 1 assist today. Davis has been productive in areas outside of just scoring the basketball. Johnson has it ripped. In transition, Jabria Haverkamp softly with the right hand. Lead back up to 9. Continue my point. Davis been productive on the glass. 6 or more rebounds in every game but 1. And prior to Wednesday night, had 9 assists in each of the 3 games prior. Brooke Vetter dribbles it out of play. Another costly turnover for Lynchburg. They're 15th already. Meredith Vetter and Kate Kolb will check at the next dead ball for Lynchburg. Haverkamp to Alkiza, loses it. Aaron Green lays out, keeps it in. Barely able to avoid the near sideline. Lizzie Davis drives to the hoop. Can't finish, misses off the front of the iron. Alkiza gets it to Harrell, stays in. Now open for 3. Shot won't go. Loose ball. Foul goes against Roanoke, their third. Again, keep your eyes on those fouls, team fouls that is, though against the Maroons. The bonus might be the the path of least resistance in which Lynchburg can cut into that 9-point deficit. Cross-court swing. Harris sizes up the three. This is short. Offensive board. Cole misses the gimme. That one hurts if you're a Lynchburg fan. Meredith Vedder trying to take it away from Keel, unable to do so. Haverkamp barely able to keep it in. Shot clock's down to 8. Keel for 3. Another shot missing short. Davis for Harris out in front. Up and under. Basket and the foul. The guilty party is Sayer Brandstatter. What a fantastic finish for Olivia Harris. You have to take another look at this. Perfect find for Davis, and a play that nice, you have to see it twice. Fantastic finish for Harris. Completes the old-fashioned three-point play and cuts the deficit down to 6. Harris now with 8 on the afternoon. Brandstatter drives in against Harris. Has it poked away. Last touch by a Hornet. Roanoke maintains possession. Just 10 seconds on the shot clock. If you want to know what a March Madness type of environment feels like in the middle of December, well, here you go. Sandy lost it for a moment. Gets it back out. Whitney Hobson, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Three-point heave, misses it all. Shot clock violation. 9th turnover to go against Roanoke, and a timeout called by head coach Carla Flaherty, looking to stop the bleeding as Lynchburg has engineered themselves to only be down by 6. We've reached immediate timeout, so we'll step aside and come back with more between Roanoke and Lynchburg, coming to you on LHSN.
Look what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
Welcome back to Wayne Profit Court. 40-34 your score. 4:36 left to be played in the third quarter. And Lynchburg has possession coming out of the media timeout. It's a chance for Coach Carla Flaherty to try to re-corral her team, settle the momentum that Lynchburg has gathered over the last minute or so of game time action. The Hornets looking to stay hot. Johnson swings over to Harris for 3. This is strong. Rebound for Haverkamp. Meredith defender trying to slow down. Meredith Vedder, that is. The defender trying to slow down the transition offense. McCullough from the free throw line knocks it down. Davis works quick. Johnson, the trailer on the play, called for the travel. Aaron Green now checks on for Sarah Johnson. Haverkamp lost it for just a moment. Recollects. Brandstatter, deep three. Off the side of the rim and out off the hands of Whitney Hobson. Brandstatter now just 1 for 7 shooting from the floor, 1 for 5 from downtown. Her shooting woes continue. Game of the day shooting 26% from three-point land. Erin Green tries her luck with a 3-ball. Shot no good. Another rebound for Haverkamp. Alkiza, give and go between her and Brandstatter. 3-point shot touches every part of the rim, bounces out. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Green with the left hand. Won't get the bucket, but does get the whistle. Green currently with 4 points, 1 of 6 shooting from the floor, 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. And now a chance to return to the line for free throw attempts number 3 and 4 on her day. Knocks down the first. Green comes into the contest, shooting just about 77% from the free throw line this season. Another 2-for-2 trip for the senior from Poolesville, Maryland. Dumped off from McCullough. Denied by Erin Green. They'll call a jump ball. Alternating possession. Gives it to Lynchburg. And folks, the trend continues. Erin Green has a block in every contest this season, solidified on that possession, garnering the block for today. Nice rotation defense. Roanoke quickly collapsing on Green. She's the cutter off the feed from Vetter, taken away. Nice play from Sayer Brandstatter, getting her hand in. Haverkamp, a little strong on the attempt. Brandstatter for 3. Another shot that won't fall. Olivia Harris tacks the basket, gets the whistle, heads back to the free throw line. Harris 3 for 3 from the stripe. Team best 8 points so far. Another timeout called by Coach Carla Flaherty. And also, that foul is important. It's the 5th to go against Roanoke, and it's going to be a media timeout, so we will take one more pause. 2:11 to go in the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. Coming back with the conclusion of the third quarter on LHSN. Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia. 6-point contest, 2:11 to go in the third quarter. Coming back with Olivia Harris at the free throw line. Looking to build upon her team best 8 points on the afternoon. Harris good on the first. Lynchburg now 14 of 20 from the free throw line. Roanoke has not had a single free throw attempt this afternoon. I peg this as an opportunity at the onset of the second half. This could be the area where Lynchburg makes enough of a difference, makes it a close game, and could eventually retake the lead. And it's certainly been a pathway, making it at least now a 4-point contest. Keel the cutter. Misses the left-handed layup. Jump ball. It's going to stay with Roanoke on the alternating possession. That offensive rebound, the 10th today for Roanoke. McAuliffe Tough look, no good. Another offensive rebound, fouled by Kate Kolb. So now 11 offensive rebounds, and it's led to a 12-4 second chance points advantage for the Maroons, tripling the difference in this contest. Or I should say doubles difference between these two teams. See Coach Allison Nichols talking with senior Lizzie Davis. McCullough goes 2 for 2. She's up to 14. Killer crossover. Davis can't finish. Tipped out of play, last touch by Lynchburg. Costly turnover for Roanoke. That was a chance to put the pedal to the floor, regain the momentum, and assert yourself as the dominant team. 80 seconds left in the third quarter. Lynchburg with another chance to potentially make this a one-possession game right at the minimum. Bring the deficit down to 4. Harris, the top of the key, sinks it. One-possession contest. Harris came today 12th in the ODAC in three-point percentage, 2 of 5 this afternoon from beyond the arc. Nice hop step, Haverkamp with the answer. Lizzie Davis trying to play 2 for 1, called for the foul. So the shot for Meredith Vedder does not count. Instead, another turnover for the Hornets, 17th on the afternoon. Big possession for both sides. Shot clock's at 12. Spin move from Keel. Perfect finish. Lead back to 7. Shot clock turned off. See if Lynchburg elects to hold for the final shot. Aaron Green. Still without a three-point shot made. Roanoke with the final possession instead. 5 seconds. Alkiza tries to get it to Keel. Fouled with .7 to go in the quarter. So the sophomore from East Windsor, Connecticut, Lauren Keel, to the free throw line. 6 points today. These become the first 2 free throw attempts for Keel, 3rd and 4th overall for Roanoke. Keel came today shooting 50% from the free throw line. Goes 2 for 2. Lead back up to 9. Harris catches, fires, shot no good. 50-41, your score through 30 minutes of play. We'll step aside and come back with the final stanza between Roanoke and Lynchburg on LHSN. 10 minutes left to be played between the Maroons and the Hornets. Lynchburg with possession as we start the fourth quarter. Davis, 7 points today. Kate Kolb ultimately fouled on the possession. Goes against Renee Alquiza. Just her second. Lynchburg did a good job working themselves into the bonus in the third quarter. Maybe it can do the same. 10 seconds into the fourth, already a team foul against Roanoke. Inbound pass taken away by the Maroons. 2-on-2, Haverkamp with the right hand. No good. McAuliffe keeps it alive. Alquiza fouled by the trail defender. Taylor Gant checks in for Lizzie Davis as Sayer Brandstatter readies to inbound. 4.3 points a game, just under 5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Utility stat line if I ever saw one. Jabria Haverkamp picks up her dribble. McAuliffe in front of Johnson. Tries to work baseline. Keel for 3. Indeed. Lead up to 12 for Roanoke. They're going to actually say that was a 2-point shot. But it's an 11-point contest. Gant loses it. Kolb on the floor. Jump ball called. Roanoke will take over. Every possession matters so much throughout the rest of this contest. A couple of empty possessions for Lynchburg makes the climb to overcome the 11-point deficit that much harder to do. McAuliffe open, free throw line Jay. Strong, rebound for Johnson. 2 defenders collapse, chance for Roanoke to get it right back. Loose ball on the floor, jump ball called, and Lynchburg keeps possession. But Roanoke wasn't going to let the Hornets have it easy. Meredith Vedder, open off the off-ball screen, clunks it off the backboard in the iron. Offensive rebound and put back 2 for Sarah Johnson. She's now got 4 on the afternoon. Big basket there, brings the deficit to single digits. Haverkamp lost it, regathers. Alquiza thought about the 3. Drives with the left. Right hand floater, cross body finish. And Roanoke has the bucket to respond. Harris puts the dribble moves on display, but it's Taylor Gant to settle the offense. Under 8 minutes left in regulation. We'll see on these screens, Roanoke's bringing that second defender up and over, not allowing any space off the threes, but also making it difficult for the ball handler. Try to see what's coming and where they should go with the basketball. Result of the play is a turnover for Lynchburg. Christina Harrell. Alquiza has it taken away. She's trying to slip it through. Gant to Vedder. Back to Harris. She's got both 3s for Lynchburg today. This one left short and wide left. McAuliffe evades Johnson, gets Kolb in the air, misses the layup. Fortunate stop for Lynchburg. Gant with pace forward. Harris trying to find Kolb, looks like had to go right through her hands and off her shoulder, picked up by the Maroons. Harris sprawls out. Jump ball called. It'll stay with Roanoke. Sammy Sever, Aaron Green check on for Kate Kolb and Taylor Gant. Talking about Sever, another tough day. Only taking 3 shots, has 3 points this afternoon after season low 2 on Wednesday against Randolph. Had scored in 20 or more points in 3 contests prior to Wednesday. Keel sends it off the foot of Vetter and out of play. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Morgan McAuliffe back to Keel for 3. Shot won't fall. Picked up by Vetter. Johnson's looking for help. Sever. It's it back to Vetter. And again, you're seeing Roanoke shield away the big bodies down low, not letting Lynchburg get it into the post. 2-on-1 the other way. Keel for Hobson. Left-handed in. Lead grows to 13. Timeout called by Coach Allison Nichols. First 2 points on the afternoon for Whitney Hobson, senior from Mechanicsville, Virginia. We will keep it here. 6:05 left in the fourth quarter. 13-point differential between these two sides. This is where those little advantages we talked about early on in the contest start to mount up, and they become more and more evident. The difference between the two, 16-6 second chance points advantage for Roanoke, and points off of turnovers has grown to an 18-7 Maroons advantage over Lynchburg. And the turnover battle in general, 22 for Lynchburg, just 11 for Roanoke. Those little differences that come possession by possession overall become bigger and bigger as the game goes on, and that gives us the sample that we're at now. Lynchburg twice as many turnovers, and it's given 11-point advantage off those turnovers for Roanoke. That's nearly the difference in itself. Then you have the second chance points baked in there. There's 10-point advantage for Roanoke. That's nearly the advantage in and of itself. Little mistakes along the way have certainly mounted up and made a big difference to go against Lynchburg. Additionally, just one player in double figures. That's Olivia Harris with 13. Next highest score is Lizzie Davis with 7. On the other side, Roanoke, 3 players in double figures. Renee Alquiza leads the way with 19, followed by Megan McAuliffe with 14 and Lauren Keel at 10. Good news for Lynchburg, Christina Harrell, 1 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 2 from beyond the arc, just 2 points today for the senior from Clinton, New Jersey. 6:05 left. There's plenty of basketball left to be played. Hornets have possession coming out of the timeout. Pass intended for Johnson. Keel gets her hand in, and Johnson ultimately called for the foul and is down on the floor. Johnson slow to get up. And it looks like a sub might be coming on for Johnson, and that is indeed the case. Brooke Vetter checks in for Lynchburg. Despite just 4 points for Sarah Johnson, 10 rebounds so far for the junior. So a lot of the dirty work for Lynchburg all day long. Keel hands off McAuliffe. Strong off the back iron. Rebound for Lizzie Davis. Works right to left. Left-handed layup. Makes it an 11-point game. Davis now with 9. Knocking on the door of double figures. Hobson finds Keel just beyond the free throw line and sinks it. Two teams exchange buckets. Stays at a 13-point contest as we approach the midway point of the fourth quarter. Renee Alquiza will check back in for Roanoke next dead ball. Size advantage for Green. She swings it over. Meredith Vetter for 3. Shot no good. Nearly an offensive rebound for Green. Instead, it's gathered by Keel looking for help. Hobson will bring it across for Roanoke. Harrell to Hobson for three, indeed. Largest lead of the day, it's 16. Sever drives in. Acrobatic finish. Up to 5. And for the final 4+ minutes of play, you got to think there can't be many, if any, empty possessions for Lynchburg to try to overcome a 14-point deficit. Need some stops in there as well. Head fake from Harrell. Hobson. Pirouette along the baseline. Back to McAuliffe. Tough shot, rattles it through. McAuliffe up to 16 points. And the 16 points, for McAuliffe does mark a new season high. Brooke Vetter fouled on the shot attempt. Third team foul to go against Roanoke. First 2 free throws on the way for Brooke Vetter. She's the last player for Lynchburg to touch the floor today that has not scored. Checking in, for Roanoke first time today, mentioning Peyton Kirchner. Williamsport, Maryland comes on, stands at 6'1", some additional size for Roanoke. Brooke Vetter goes 1 for 2. Shot clock at 10. Kirchner fouled on the way up. The difficulties of playing a full 30 seconds of defense. Lynchburg looked good for the first 22, but Kirchner able to get just enough contact over the free throw line and knocks down her first attempt. Chad played in 10 minutes, all but 1 game this year, averaging 7.25 points per game of the last 4. I haven't seen a whole lot of her today. Goes 2 for 2 on some of the biggest free throws we've seen this afternoon, and Roanoke has the lead up to 17. Davis forced to pick up her dribble. Barely able to get it out to Sever. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lynchburg's got to work quick. Cross from right to left. Davis is tripped up. They're going to say Hornets maintain possession, but only 3 seconds on the shot clock. This is a catch and shoot situation. They get it to Vetter. Underneath the basket. Off the glass and in. Hobson with 18 seconds on the shot clock. Shot attempted earlier than I would have anticipated as Davis fouled from behind. Guilty party is Harrell. Rose Sandy and Olivia Harris check in for Roanoke, Lynchburg respectively. Cross-court swing pass, Brooke Vetter open for 3, knocks it down. Deficit down to 12, 2 minutes to go. Lynchburg's defense going to need to create a couple of turnovers to keep this interesting down the stretch. Sandy to Alquiza, shot fake, drives in, Hobson, penetrates, gets it out to Haverkamp, long two, no good. Vetter has 5 consecutive points. Now a 10-point game. Haverkamp defended by Harris, hands it off to Harrell. And that timeout called by Coach Carla Flaherty. Didn't like where that possession was shaping out to look. 11 seconds left on the shot clock, 63 seconds left to be played, and that's all that stands between Roanoke and improving to 8-0 on the season. And it'd be a 4-0 mark in conference play, tying them with Randolph-Macon. Same record in the top spot in the ODAC conference standings. And it would be the end of 2 consecutive wins for Lynchburg in the series history. It'll be the 31st all-time win for Roanoke against Lynchburg. There's another look at the most recent basket coming from Brooke Vetter, who prior to her first free throw attempt, scoreless. All of a sudden has 8. Third most for any Lynchburg player this afternoon. Again, 11 seconds on the shot clock. The Hornets need a turnover. Or at least a stop here, then you figure out the turnover on the next possession. 5 seconds. Dumped off to Sandy. Good defense from Erin Green. She gets the rebound. Davis for Brooke Vetter. Back out to Davis. Gets to the basket. Tipped out by Hobson. Stays with Lynchburg. A little over 40 seconds. Inbound to Vetter. Right-handed hook. No good. Jump ball. Has it stay with Lynchburg. Coach Allison Nichols on the far sideline signaling 3 fingers. Got to think Hornets are looking for a 3-point shot. Goes out to Erin Green. Tries another 3-point attempt. Again, stays over. Offensive rebound for Sever. Plows into her defender and draws the foul. It's been a tough year shooting the basketball for Erin Green from beyond the arc. Came today 2 for 16. This contest, she's 0 for 5. That is a part of her game. Shots just haven't been falling. Feels like one of these days we'll see Green erupt for a couple of threes to fall, and then that number will regress positively to the mean. Morgan McAuliffe checks back in for Roanoke. It's Christina Harrell heads to the bench, 29.2. This is maybe the longest combination of 5 we've seen today for the Maroons. This is a tall unit, long arms, exactly what you want for late game defense. Brooke Vetter called for the foul, 3rd to go against Lynchburg. So a couple opportunities to create turnovers on this inbound play. If not, we start to play the foul game. Harris pokes it away from Hobson for just a moment. Gets it across half court, and Sandy with an easy 2. Push the lead to 11. And that will all but do it as Sever misses the 3. Another foul on the floor, but 8.5 seconds to go. Roanoke's going to improve to 8-0 on the season, 4-0 in conference play, and stay unbeaten on the season, and now 3-0 on the road. That's an impressive mark in and of itself. Their next contest is the same place Lynchburg's next 2 games will be at. Actually, I beg your pardon. We'll talk about the upcoming schedule for Lynchburg, but the next 2 games for Roanoke go on the 29th and 30th of December. Out in Salem, Virginia, they'll take on Elizabethtown on Wednesday the 29th, then CNU on Thursday the 30th. Roanoke, they're at home, Lynchburg's at home on Monday, as I continue to try to speak. Hornets hosting Meredith, noon tip-off here on LHSN. And then after that, They will also be in action in Salem, Virginia on the 29th and 30th. On the 29th, they play CNU. On the 30th, they'll take on Elizabethtown. So these two teams will see the same opponents at that two-day tournament before the end of the calendar year. But Lynchburg has a game before then, this upcoming Monday against Meredith. Once again, Roanoke wins 8-0 in the season, 4-0 in conference play. Lynchburg falls to 5-3 on the season, 2-2 against ODAC foes after the 69-58 final score. Roanoke comes out on top. Player of the match, tough one to pick. Renee Alquiza really stood out, especially in the first half. 8-11 shooting overall, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, game high 19 points. And then from the second quarter onward was getting some help from Morgan McCullough. She finished with 16, 7 of 21 shooting from the floor. No three-point attempts, 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Really impressive win for Roanoke. It's never easy on the road, but they get the job done and stay unbeaten. Meanwhile, Lynchburg, I know the difference was 11 points, but this game played a lot closer than that 11-point difference, especially up until the very end. And despite the outcome, I think Lynchburg has plenty to hang their hat on. Eventually, the three-point shooting will get back to form. It's been a tough stretch over today and the 2 games preceding this against Randolph-Macon and against Randolph. And that shooting comes back. This team is as dangerous as it gets, and that might have been enough to make a difference in this contest. That with turnovers and offensive rebounds leading to second chance points seemed like big differentials in this contest. But that's going to do it for us at Wayne Prophet Court. Lynchburg falls to Roanoke. For my director, Sam Rice, the rest of our LHSN broadcast crew, my name's TJ Wingert. Till next time, we are signing off.